good? All right, this morning we wanted to provide some updated information regarding the investigation for the human remains that were located last week in Furnas County. Today for you we have Captain Ben Miller, who leads our criminal investigations unit. He'll provide some updated information. Also, we will have our Lancaster County Attorney Pat Connon available, and also a representative from the State Patrol, Lieutenant Kaufman, who heads up their investigations. So, Captain Miller.
Good morning. I want to begin by sharing my condolences with the family of Jerica Hamry of Lincoln. Jerica was reported missing on July 3rd, 2024, and was found deceased in rural Furnas County on Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. Our hearts break for Jerica's family and friends who for the last 18 months have been searching for answers. On the morning of Wednesday, December 17th, 2025, the Furnas County Sheriff's Office was called by a man working in a field in rural Furnas County. The man told deputies that he had found human remains in an old farm shed. The Furnas County Sheriff's Office arrived at the scene and determined that the remains were indeed human. Jerica was 30 years old when she was reported missing by her parents to the Lincoln Police Department. Investigators determined that Jerica had last been heard from on June 25th, 2024. Investigators worked tirelessly to determine where Jerica had gone and who she might be with. After an analysis of physical, digital, and forensic evidence, investigators believed that Jerica had traveled from Lincoln west towards the area of Oxford, Nebraska. The Lincoln Police Department investigators worked with the Nebraska State Patrol, the Furnas County Sheriff's Office, and many other local agencies to share information regarding Jerica in the hope that someone had seen her. In the weeks and months following Jerica's disappearance, several searches were conducted by law enforcement, friends, family, and community groups in an effort to find Jerica. The effort of searching over 1,000 square miles of timber, lakes, rivers, and farmland was daunting and never ended, as the commitment to find her was unwavering. The work the community volunteers, friends, family members, and law enforcement did to find Jerica was nothing short of amazing. Unfortunately, due to the size and scope of the search, Jerica was not located at that time. Human remains were discovered on Wednesday, December 17th in an old farm shed north of Oxford, Nebraska. Lincoln Police Department investigators believed that they could be Jerica and notified her family. On Friday, December 19th, an autopsy was conducted, and the remains were confirmed to be those of Jerica. Jerica had been at this location for a long period of time, and we are working with forensic experts to determine and narrow down a time frame. Based on the investigation to this point, in combination with the recovery of Jerica, this death is being investigated as a homicide. The Lincoln Police Department, the Nebraska State Patrol, the Furnas County Sheriff's Office, as well as the Lancaster County Attorney's Office, the Furnas County Attorney's Office, and the Nebraska Attorney General's Office are all coordinating this complicated investigation and have been working together for many months now. While our investigation continues, we do have a person of interest in custody on unrelated charges, and there is no ongoing threat to the community. Once formal charges have been brought forward for this individual, we will provide more information at that time. We do ask that anyone with information call our non-emergency number at 402-441-6000, or to remain anonymous, please call Crime Stoppers at 402-475-3600, or report online at lincolncrimestoppers.com, or download the free P3 app. And with that, we would take any questions.
Can you say how the person of interest is somehow related or part of Jerica's life?
Yeah, I think at this point we're going to hold that back until we get a little bit further down the road with that.
Can you identify the charges that the person of interest is already in custody on and when that happened?
They were old charges that from, I think, years ago, that they're not years ago, from prior, that were totally unrelated to this case.
Where's he in custody at?
That I don't know exactly for sure right now. Which there's multiple facilities that they can move them from place to place. So.
Can you say anything about the cause and manner of death?
Not at this point, no. The final autopsy results have not been returned to us yet.
With it having been a year since she was last kind of heard about, how were you able to specifically identify it as Jerica through this autopsy? I would have expected a little more body detail.
Yeah, there's a number of things that we will look for in those situations, things like tattoos, piercings, dental records, DNA, all those kinds of things are the things that we would use to help identify somebody.
Can you identify which you used to identify her?
We use all of those things to identify.
How badly decomposed was she at that point, or do you know how long she had been there right now? And this is part of the investigation.
Yeah, she'd been there for quite some time. And I would say probably consistent with the amount of time that she's been missing.
Do you know if the remains showed any evidence of trauma, stabbing, gunshots, etc.?
That's certainly something that the doctor that does the autopsy will have in their report. And so I don't, it's a little premature to comment on that right now.
Can you say if the person who is in custody has a connection with that farmland?
No, we don't believe they have any connection with that farmland.
Do you know why she had traveled out there? Was there a certain reason that she was going there?
That is still all something that's part of our investigation.
Any other questions? For the State Patrol, what role did you guys have in kind of the investigation and everything leading up to now?
Thank you. Good morning. Our investigators were contacted by Lincoln Police back in June of 2024, and we assisted with searches in the area at that point in time, as outlined by Captain Miller. Also, on the morning of December 17th, we received a phone call for assistance from the Furnas County Sheriff's Office. At that time, our investigators went out to the scene and processed the scene.
Do you know if the individual, and maybe this is for you or for Attorney Condon, is charged in Lancaster County or another county?
I'll let Mr. Condon address that.
Yes, good morning, Pat Condon, Lancaster County Attorney. That is something that we're going to be continuing to work on depending on the investigation in this matter. Since the onset of Jerica, going missing, our office has had an attorney that's been reviewing all the reports and everything involved in this case. So once we look at the complete investigation, our office, the Attorney General, we've also been speaking with Mike Hilger's criminal chief, Mike Guinan, and also the Furnas County Attorney, Patrick Calkins, and we'll all get together and decide where would be best to and have the least problems with the prosecution.
I'm kind of speaking to, he's in custody on previous charges. What attorney is handling that? Are you handling those previous charges, or are they from a different county?
No, that's a different matter. Yes, not this county.
Okay.
Speaking to your point, Pat, do you yet know at this stage in the investigation if she was killed and transported there, or if she died there?
Yeah, that's part of all we're looking at, Lori, is trying to figure out where things occurred and where would be the best place to proceed with the with the trial if that's what it goes to. So.
Obviously, the process is still ongoing. We obviously have still some unanswered questions, but a chapter has closed in this story. How does it feel for, you, Investigator Stilly, NSP, and Attorney Condon, that we're kind of past the searching point and we can move forward with this case?
Well, I think for all of us, it's the relief it provides to the family, knowing, having that knowledge. It's never a good time. This is always a harder time around the holidays, but that's one thing that I would say. Really, for the prosecution standpoint, our job is just beginning. So we're going to be, again, looking at all the reports, reviewing everything, and with LPD and NSP, and there's work yet to be done that they're doing. So.
Yeah, and I would just add that, certainly this was not the outcome that we had hoped for. We hoped that we could find Jerica alive and well and get her back to her family. But it is I think there is value taken that we can get her back to her family at this point, and they at least have some answers today. And yes, like Pat said, there's still a lot of work to do on this, and so we'll keep moving forward with that piece of it.
Do you have any idea of what charges could be coming? First degree murder, second degree?
Yeah, we would look at all of those things, certainly. And we're a little early to make that determination just yet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Cody.
Hello there, this is Danielle Schenk in the 1011 Now Alert Center, just providing a little recap and additional details about the body found in Furnas County last Wednesday. After 18 months of searching, missing Lincoln woman 30-year-old Jerica Hamry was found on a rural farm in northeast Furnas County, north of Oxford. We do have video of the area that we are going to show you here. The Nebraska State Patrol said a representative of the farm's owners was inspecting the area, inspecting the property in preparation for a sale, and found her body in an outbuilding of the fields. Authorities said it was apparent Hamry had been dead for some time. An autopsy was scheduled for last Friday that confirmed the body was Jerica Hamry. Now, her death is being investigated as a homicide, and a person of interest is in custody on unrelated charges. Authorities did not go into detail about those charges because they were old from years ago. Now, Hamry was last seen on June 25th, 2024, at her home near 35th Street and Huntington Avenue. She was reported missing on July 3rd, 2024, and that her disappearance was considered suspicious early in the investigation. Now, information led investigators to a property that we had showed you near Overton in October 2024, and several agencies searched the area, but no evidence related to Hamry was found. Brigham Home, Nebraska led another search in July after new information revealed her cell phone pinged in the Arapahoe area the night she disappeared. Volunteers searched nearly 900 square miles of brush and trees. Jerica's parents have since been raising her daughters since her disappearance. Now, again, most importantly, the missing woman, Jerica Hamry's death is being investigated as a homicide, and a person of interest is in custody on unrelated charges. So just to kind of give another recap of what we saw here, what we heard here today, authorities had a briefing here this morning to provide updates about the body found in Furnas County last Wednesday. And after 18 months of searching, missing Lincoln woman 30-year-old Jerica Hamry has been identified as that body. She was found on a rural farm in northeast Furnas County, north of Oxford. We'll show you that video here once again. This was the outhouse that had been searched. The Nebraska State Patrol said a representative of the farm's owners was inspecting the property in preparation for a sale and found her body in an outbuilding on one of the fields. Authorities did say it was apparent Hamry had been dead for quite some time. An autopsy was scheduled for last Friday after the body was found on Wednesday, and that autopsy did confirm it was Jerica Hamry. Now, her death is being investigated as a homicide, and a person of interest is in custody on unrelated charges. Authorities did not go into detail about those charges because they were old from several years ago. Now, Hamry was last seen on June 25th, 2024, at her home near 35th Street and Huntington Avenue. She was reported missing on July 3rd, 2024, and that her disappearance was considered suspicious early in the investigation. Information led investigators to a property near Overton in October 2024, and several agencies searched the area, but no evidence related to Hamry was found. Overton, somewhat near Oxford. Brigham Home, Nebraska led another search in July after new information revealed her cell phone pinged in the area once again, but over in Arapahoe the night she disappeared. Volunteers searched nearly 900 square miles of brush and trees, but did not find her. Jerica's parents have since been raising Jerica's daughters since her disappearance. Now, most importantly, from this update here today. Missing woman from Lincoln, 30-year-old Jerica Hamry, her death is being investigated as a homicide, and a person of interest is in custody on unrelated charges, old charges from years ago. 1011 has spoken to Jerica's family several times over the search, just getting their thoughts on everything, and you can check out those stories that we have on our website during the search for Jerica Hamry. For more details on what was said at the briefing and from those stories, you can check out our website, 1011now.com, and our app, 1011 Now. You can also download our app on Roku to check out some of those stories just from your TV. Once again, big update here. After 18 months of searching, missing Lincoln woman, 30-year-old Jerica Hamry, has been found. After her body was found on a rural farm in northeast Furnas County, north of Oxford. For more details, you can check out our website and app. From our newsroom to wherever you are. See you on the next stream.
1011 News is everywhere. Download our smart TV apps and follow us on social media at 1011 News.